Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hit and Hers, where we take you beyond the journey of a regular couple that you all see on social media.
That's my play sister, Hitman.
Well, here you go with this.
Why we got on St. Louis stuff today?
Because we're from the loop and we proud.
Got St. Louis stuff on today because today is a very special episode. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, and y'all see that, I gotta ask you. It's been a week. How your week go? How's 7 treating?
I'm trying to balance him out and have my mental right because my anniversary is coming up in 2 days of me getting shot.
It's been 4 years?
Yeah. So it's like normally I, be out of town, normally go to Disney or to the cabin, but this year just focusing on being a mom, and it's like, dang.
You ain't really got no time to be not sad, but like you gotta live for 7 now. So it's like
but also I know I have to live for 7, but I feel like that was more of a reason for me to go somewhere because I want to make sure my mental is all the way right. And I don't want nothing to trigger.
Being in Atlanta?
Yeah. I hate being here. But I don't want nothing to trigger me being a mom.
And shout out to 7.
Yeah, my baby.
He an Atlanta baby. I know really St. Louis. He's still St. Louis. I got really Atlanta. He A/STL. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so shout out to 7. Shout out to my baby.
That'll do.
But what we got in store for the people today?
So honestly, this is shocking because you and the guest that we have today is someone that you actually grew up with.
Yeah, that's special right here. Like, so imagine just being at home one day. I've been kind of Hitman Holla for a while, battle rap TV and all that, and all you keep hearing is God name, and the journey I start going on with eating right and getting my mental right, just being spiritual, is this whole guy, like this what he do best. So I kept hearing his name. I'm like, man, I'm gonna check this guy out. I'm gonna Google him. His face popped up. I said, this is a 20-year friend. I was so proud, man. I was so proud. So we're going to get into that right now. So let's make some noise for my dog, Dr. Yahki. What's up, Doc?
I want to do this to you, though, Queen. I heard a little bit of your story and what you overcame. I want to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Powerful.
What's up, Doc, man?
What's up with my brother?
I know you like a book, but for the people who just been under a rock, man, tell the people a little something about yourself.
Well, everybody call me Yahki Awakened. I'm Dr. Yokai Rafa Elohim. Grew up in St. Louis, been in St. Louis my whole life, actually still there right now. I'm into holistic health, wellness, cellular detoxification specialist. I am I'm a nutritional scientist. Man, I can, molecular biology, human biology. We can go with the titles, the accolades, and with all of the schooling and the hands-on experience and the clinics that I done built and, the retreat homes I done built.
We'll get into all that.
Yeah.
We'll get into all that. Yes, sir.
Food. Man, the titles go on and on, but I'm your brother, Yahki, man.
I just want to know what made you get into this.
Running around in the streets, man. I'm from the worstest parts of St. Louis, and a lot of people act like they was really active and really out in the streets and really in gangs, and like I really was. I was really in the streets, and when you in the streets, you eat wrong, you do recreational drugs. I was drinking every day. And gang banging and fighting all the time. So all of the stuff that I was doing in my community, because we were set up in the wrong environment, I was trying to escape myself. So I ended up started snorting cocaine, smoking weed a lot, and drinking. So at the age of 21, I ended up having a heart attack. Well, let me say this: I ended up attacking my heart because all the things that I was doing is what brought the cardiac arrest on in the first place. So it wasn't like my heart just said, I'm finna stop working. I just put my body under so many environmental pollutants and toxins that it just, one day it gave up. So I ended up going to the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, the doctor was looking like, look, this is a very close call. Mind you, I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I got my jaw fake from here to here because I got my jaw. Yeah, he can contest in all of this firsthand. At the Palace fighting, got jumped by 19, 20 people, shattered my whole jaw. So, I had to have my jaw reconstructed. So I went through all of that and just trying to escape everything I was going through, had the heart attack, get to the hospital. As I'm in the hospital, the doctor like, look, this was a close call. But, mind you, throughout my whole life, I done had a bunch of close calls. I almost died several times. But this particular day, it was just something different. And I said, look, I want to live. I get home, I got all the medication and stuff. Thank God that I did survive, that situation. Got home, I threw away all of my medicine. I said, I'm finna figure out a way to do this naturally, because from the hypertension medication I was taking, I couldn't get an erection. I'm 21.
21. Can't
21.
get on hard.
But the side effects from the medication, I couldn't get on hard. So I said, look, I don't need that anyway. So I threw away all of the medication, and I ended up looking on YouTube. This when YouTube was just starting to really pop for real. And I said, natural ways to cure, ED, natural way to cure scar tissue on your heart. Cause I had scar tissue on my heart. My kidneys wasn't functioning properly. I had gained a whole bunch of weight. It was a point in time where we used to call ourselves the skinny boys. Remember that? Yeah. The skinny boys, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up gaining all of that weight. So, I typed in natural cures for everything I was going through, and a Caucasian man popped up, but it wasn't no synergy there. But YouTube had just came out with this suggestion bar where after a video go off, another video pop up talking about the same subject. And this tall, bald head man with a gray beard said, "Hi, my name is Dr. Sabi. I've cured sickle cell anemia, leukemia, diabetes." And I'm like, ain't no way. Because at this time, my mindset is still the allopathic community. I'm like, you can't cure none of these diseases. The only thing you can do is do what I've been doing, which is taking all the medicine for them. But the more and more I listened to them, the more it resonated with my soul. So, 48 hours later, I was still on the couch, stuck on the couch with a notebook full of all of this information, with all of his addresses. I knew the wife, I knew the first wife, I knew children, everybody. So I ended up getting contact, and they started teaching me about, well, they didn't even teach me. They gave me 4 herbs. So when they gave me the herbs, I started studying the herbs. And I was so intrigued about studying the herbs, I said, I need to go to school for this. So I ended up doing some online classes at Stanford University, ended up doing some online classes at the University of Adelaide, just started doing a bunch of schoolwork, became a clinical master herbalist. And then once I became a clinical master herbalist, I said, well, I'm very, very deep into human biology. So let me take some biochemistry and biology classes, got all of those certifications and certificates. And I went on a 120-day juice fast. Nothing but juice.
120 days. Juice.
Nothing but juice.
They said it's impossible.
Man, I did it. Nothing but juice. Now, I'm not going to lie. I did slip up twice. You know what I'm saying? End up eating some lentils and some quinoa. But that was on 120 days. I dropped all of that weight. Matter of fact, I got down to like 130, 132. Super little. Everybody thought I was sick. What's going on? Did you hit the wrong girl? Yahki, I'm like, it ain't even none of that going on. I'm healing. So went back to the doctor. 4 months later, I didn't have no more scar tissue on my heart. My kidneys was functioning properly. Yes, my liver wasn't fatty anymore. All of that mucus, it was worms, everything came up out of me, and I was healed. So then my mama, she suffered from hypertension. She had very bad high blood pressure. So ended up giving her the herbs and giving her the same diet protocol. She didn't have it no more. So then I started talking to people in the community, and a basketball player ended up getting in contact with me. And it was like, I heard that you have some healing protocols that's been doing a lot of things. I got herpes. Do you have some herbs? So I gave him some herbs in a protocol. He ended up getting rid of his herpes. And he gave me a bunch of money. He funded my first actual seminar and lecture in St. Louis. And after that, I took off.
Make some noise for that, man. Make some noise for that, man. See, our community, we look at the bigger you are, the healthier. Like, you eating good.
Yeah. And then the moment
that's why you got.
Weight,
that's why you got.
They think you sick.
So can you tell everybody just a little brief thing on like how fasting heal the body naturally?
Yeah. So I mean, if you look in the animal kingdom, animals fast. Soon as they get sick, if you have a dog, the moment that your dog get an upset stomach, it stop eating. And then when it do eat, it eat grass, because grass acts as like a botanical herb to the actual animal to get them to throw up. And what are they throwing up? They throwing up all of the cytotoxins, the endotoxins, and all the worms that's in them in the first place. Fasting has been a healing mechanism since the beginning of time. That's your regular natural medicine, because usually what make us sick in the first place is the things that we putting in our mouths. So when you fast, when you go through fast, there's a 16-hour period where things happen through your fast. So the first 4 to 6 hours, what happen is you become insulin sensitive, because usually a lot of Black Americans are suffering from something called insulin resistance, meaning that you cannot take insulin to get glucose to go into the cell for your body can use that nutrients so you can have energy and vitality to live your everyday life. And this is what you really call diabetes mellitus. Well, what happened when you fast and you're not bringing in all that glucose, and glucose is nothing but sugar. You're not bringing in all of that fructose, which is nothing but sugar. They call them monosaccharides and polysaccharides when you're speaking of in a scientific term. But when you're not bringing those things in, now your body have the ability to awaken these cells called beta cells. And the beta cells is literally in the islands of Langerhans in the pancreas. And this is what produced the insulin. What insulin does is it releases itself into the bloodstream, and it literally acts as a key mechanism to open up the membrane of the cell for glucose can go in. When glucose get in the cell, what happened is you receive this energy, and this energy is how we able to talk and have a conversation with each other right now. And it's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Without that ATP molecule, you will not have no signal to your cells, which means you have no life. And that's what death is. Cellular death is when you cannot produce no more ATP. Well, what gives you that ATP is insulin being able to unlock the cell to bring the sugar in. So when you fast and then you stop eating, what happened is insulin is able to now be released by the beta cells of the pancreas to allow glucose inside the cells so you can get that energy. That's in the first 4 to 6 hours. Now you start getting up into the 8 to 16th hour of your fast, you go through something called autophagy. If you look at autophagy stands for autophagy. Auto means self, phagy means eating. Your cells begin to eat and degrade or degrade down the bad cells, and it breaks them apart. And all of the parts that can be reused and recycle it back into the bloodstream. But the stuff that's causing, what you will call apoptosis, which means the self-annihilation, or things that, are causing the body to build up and have mucus and oxidation, which means the rusting of the cells. What these do is send it to the lymphatic system, it go to the kidney, and then you wake up and you urinate it out. So fasting literally rebuilds the body. 72 hours into a fast, your whole entire immunological system restarts itself. So, and that's the reason why if you look at any type of cancer, diabetes, any of these diseases, if you just, all you got to do is research the fasting mechanics behind the disease. There's always peer review science articles backing up how fasting actually helped these things.
So is it true that your body go in survival mode and the good cells start eating the bad cells, and that's how you really cure yourself?
And that's exactly what you just said. What that is called, the scientific term. Look, Holla, the scientific term for that is literally called autophagy. Exactly what you just explained is called autophagy. When you stop eating, you allow your body to start cleaning up, because your body can't do two things at once. The body is not going to yield energy, try to break down food in your digestive system and heal itself at the same time. And that's the reason why sleep is so important, because when you sleep, you're asleep. You're fast asleep. You're in a fasted state. Unless you're a sleepwalker going to the refrigerator eating and can't recall.
That's why you would die from less sleep than not eating.
Exactly.
You'll die quicker from not getting sleep.
Yes, definitely. Eating. Yeah, because it's impossible to detox and rebuild the molecular structure without sleep. Sleep is what gives you your muscle recovery. You know what I'm saying? You can't rebuild tissues. You can't structure amino acids. You can't properly detox. You can't kick on something called glutathione peroxidase, which is this molecule. It's a highly antioxidative molecule that be released by the liver to help you detox the body. None of this can even kick on if you don't get enough sleep. In fact, if you get less than 6 hours of sleep, your immune system plummeted and your lymphatic system stop moving. And the lymphatic system is what cleanses the cells of the body. You have 3 different mechanisms. The blood is what feeds the cells of the body all of its phytonutrients. The lymphatic system is what cleanses the cells of the body from all of the toxins. And just by us doing what we're doing now, I'm starting to get a sweat down the back of my neck because I'm utilizing energy. By me doing that, there's a byproduct from that. So the lymphatic system cleanses all of it up. And then the nerve system, it commands and it communicates with the cells of the body. Everybody think that you just got to eat bad to get sick. No, just being alive, you can get sick, because there's no such thing as free energy. As long as you breathing, there's a byproduct from it. You breathe in oxygen and you exhale what? Carbon dioxide. That's a byproduct. So, you know, if you work out, if you run, that builds up lactic acid. That's a byproduct. So whether you eating healthy or not, you still are creating these byproducts. These byproducts rust in a basically acidify the cells. And that's where disease really starts in there, because when acid hit a cell, it deprives the cells of what you will call oxygen, or what we'll call anabolic. And then when you get into these anabolic states, you start suffocating the cells. Just imagine somebody putting their hands over your hands and your mouth. You can't breathe. This is happening to us on a cellular level every day, but just because it's not over our hands and our mouth, we're not even thinking about that.
Stuff we put on our skin.
Yes, because your skin is the largest organ of the body. Everything you put in your skin goes into the bloodstream. You see that? So you just got to think about the world we in now, especially 2025. We in America, we got chemtrails, contrails, environmental pollutants, contaminated, fluorinated, chlorinated water, cell phones, which is dirty radiation. Let's not even talk about the plug outlets, which is dirty electricity. Think about the clothes, polyester, your fabrics is not mixed, which bring it down to actual hurts of your body. Your shoes, we got these rubber soles keeping us disconnected from the earth. So that's automatic.
On the soil,
you have to.
Soil and all that.
If you don't, it's going to steal your soul. I call these soul catchers. And that's why I try to keep my shoes off as much as possible on the actual ground, because Mother Earth been healing us for thousands of years. But all of these man-made technologies and these advanced technologies is getting us further and further away from nature.
So I got a big following. And when I start watching you, I start doing a lot of posting. So I did my 21 day. How many times I did a fruit diet? I did a lot of times. I did a lot of 21 days.
I went you on the first.
Yeah, exactly. I just called him every minute. Hey, can I get this? Should I eat that? I call my man every day. So a lot of people used to say, I couldn't really explain it like you. I just send them to you or send them your page. But tell the people right now, me doing a fruit diet and me working out, they used to say, how you get your protein? Can you tell them why that's a myth?
Well, protein is a myth. When you look at what a protein is a complex amino acid structures. Amino acids is what we need. Amino acids build the body. The body don't need protein. The body need amino acids. And then what the body do is go through something called methylation and creates its own protein. So with the ideology saying that we need to eat meat or we need to eat all of these things to gather protein, all you have to do is look at the most muscular mammals in the kingdom, the animal kingdom. Most of them eat nothing. They plants. They eat plants. They don't eat fruit. Exactly. All day. Elephant. All day. So you got the largest. The largest will be the elephant. It is a plant-based diet. The oldest is a tortoise on a plant-based diet. The strongest, we would say, is a gorilla, a plant-based diet. So when you look at the oldest, the strongest, and the most thriving animals in the animal kingdom, none of them eat meat. The protein is a myth. Now, am I saying do it exist? Yes, it exists. But saying that our bodies need it and we need to get it from an outside source, that's a complete lie. And this is coming from a certified biochemist. What we need is simple amino acid structures. Then our body go through methylation, where our liver take these amino acid structures and then it put them together and form what you will call a complex amino acid structure, which is a protein. But getting protein sources outside already assembled and bringing them in, you have to think about the last name of it, amino what? Acids. Is very, very acidic. And that's why a lot of bodybuilders that's on all of the proteins and on all of the shakes, their kidneys end up going down and then they come to me. But then you got bodybuilders that know how to eat clean and know these concepts that still build the same amount of muscle. You know what I'm saying? But they more on a plant-based diet and they looking like the gorilla and they looking like the horse and the cow with this tons of massive weight. And at the same time, they don't have a lot of anabolic lactic acid killing them.
We're really eating the middleman.
So while and look, we from the streets. Yeah. We don't like middlemen.
Yeah, so you really gonna eat that when that's getting this protein from that, when you can just go straight to the
source. Yeah. Straight to the source.
And our bodies tell us what we need.
Yes.
I couldn't go catch a chicken and go eat it if nothing was here for me to catch a chicken. But I could go climb a tree or grab a fruit. Everything's right there for
we talking about diet and physiology. And it just shows you diet.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm locked in. You're gonna have your show. You're gonna have your show. I'm locked in, baby. When one of them all right.
So we talking about diet, physiology, and anatomy. And this concept is a brilliant concept. I've been teaching about it and learning about this for the last 15 years. And it's if you was born from the womb of your mother completely naked, and you grew up that way, no clothes, you didn't have the understanding of building tools and utensils, how would you get your food? Naturally, you would know that you would go and you will find something growing from the earth and you will be able to pick and pluck and eat from that. Down when you start to get into advanced civilizations and mankind, if you look at a natural predator in the jungle or in the deserts, they're not vertical and upright like us. They're horizontal. They stay low to the ground. They also have a tail, and this tail keep them straight when they're running up to 60 to 70 miles an hour to track down a prey. They actually got claws. Claws is what rips the actual meat and flesh from the bones. They also have canines, because canines can break into the bone and rip the meat and flesh from the bone. When you look at their intestines is only 10 feet long. Ours is 36 feet long. So they have to eat something and get it in and get it out very fast. If you look at their jaw structure, they cannot pulverize like a human. They only go up and down. So they don't even chew their food. They rip, tear, and swallow. If you rip, tear, and swallow as a human being, you'll be dead. Yeah. So when you look at the physiology and you look at the anatomy of predators and carnivores versus people that do not eat meat, which is humans, we are not. And I'm going to be specific. So-called African Americans is really supposed to be on a plant-based, what I would call vegan diet. We don't have that. Our hydrochloric acid inside of our stomach is not hot enough. Our teeth is not sharp enough, and we just don't have the utensils. Now, and this is what I was just getting into at a lecture that I'm doing tomorrow at Clark University. Yeah, pop up. Now look, now check this out. If you look at a predator that eat nothing but meat, notice all of his regenerative organ parts, his reproductive organs is in the back. And then they have this shield in the front called the chest. And it's when they stand up like that. So they literally are blocking, their bodies were made to block and protect their internal organs because they running up on big ass animals. If I go try to eat a gazelle and it kick me, it's going to kick my chest and I'm cool. Now imagine a human being that's upright and you so vulnerable. Look, your genetic material right here. Imagine going up to a gazelle and trying to kill it and it kick you in your nuts. How you going to reproduce? So even looking at it from that standpoint, you can tell what God created to eat other living things and meats, and you can tell which he didn't. An animal right now cannot go to a tree, use its thumbs and its fingers to pluck an apple from the tree. But we can. So if you look in the fowl kingdom, you have fowls that eat nothing but meat. These are called carnivore fowls, vultures, hawks, eagle. They eat nothing but meat. Then you have another form of fowl that eat nothing but nectar. Hummingbirds. They love the actual nectar and the sop from trees. Then you have other fowls that eat nothing but fruits, the parakeet. In its natural rights, the tunica, in a natural right state, they love nothing but fruits in the jungles. So, and then you got birds that eat nothing but nuts and seeds. So even though we're talking about the bird kingdom, there's many different, based on the geographical location and the genetics of that bird, they all eat different diets. So we can even talk about the mountain lion and the regular lion. We could talk about the grizzly bear and the polar bear. Geographical locations, different genetics is different, even though that they all are a part of these different names and they eat different things. Why do that matter to the animals? But when it comes to human beings, that don't matter at all. We all can just eat the same thing. No.
And that's why, and they eat their food just like it is. You know why? Because that's what they want to eat.
Yeah.
We eat meat and got to put seasoning on it, mayonnaise on it. You know why? Because you don't like what you eat. You if you really like the chicken, why you gotta cook it on 400 degrees and put all that stuff in it if you really like it? You don't. You like the season. So when they be like, holla. So when you eat your Beyond Meat or when you eat some, why? How can you? It ain't the meat. It's the seasoning.
And all of these seasonings are what? Plants, spices. We so much of herbivores that in order for us to even eat the meat, we got to put all the herbs on top of it, and fruit, because you're gonna get your tomatoes, you're gonna put your lettuce on top of it, you're gonna make sure you put all that seasoning on the ground.
I tried to tell her, I was convinced her that she did 11 months.
11 months.
Okay.
I stopped meat and all that in 2018, and I never went back. She went with me 11 months. I was proud of her. She gave in. I've been trying to get her back. But I used to tell her, I'm like, Cinnamon, you don't like the meat. You like the seasoning. If you put that on that same plant-based diet, you're going to be good. Yeah, so for the people who say, and I'm doing this for y'all because I see a lot of stuff that he don't see. And I wanna make sure y'all see this. Because y'all told me he was crazy for saying we really shouldn't drink water. Mm-hmm. Can you really tell them what you meant by that?
If you look, my manager Nabi got a bottle of water right now, H2O. What I'm saying is, and it's a concept, it's called H3O2, which is a real molecular molecule. What I'm saying is you get more hydration from your fruits than you do your actual water, H2O.
There's more minerals.
It's way more minerals. So when you drink, now don't get me wrong, when you drink spring water, there's minerals in spring water, but these are oxidized it comes from rocks. So like, for instance, able to get spring water, it has to go on a bed of rocks and collect all of the oxidized minerals that's already been utilized and put them in there, and then put them in the water bottle as a form of electrolytes. So you still getting, you still are hydrating yourself, but think about actual minerals that doesn't go through an oxidative stage, that still have their negative and a positive charge that come within the fruit. All the amino acids come within the fruit. If you get amino acids from spring water, it's actually coming from the marine life that's inside of the water. So fruits come with its own DNA. Fruit come with its own amino acids. Fruit come with its own minerals because it went through that phase where they exchanged the root of the tree that grew the fruit. It exchanged everything that it needed to exchange to get those minerals and to uptake it. So when you eat, and then it got all of the liquids in it, and the liquid is not regular H2O, it's this gel-like structure water, which is the same thing as your blood. So when you go and you eat a real fruit, not only are you getting your amino acids, not only are you getting all of your minerals, not only is you getting all your phytonutrients, but you getting your hydration too. Everybody think you need to drink this liquid taste to have hydration. That's not the definition of being hydrated.
And that's why you can eat watermelon and be hydrated.
Exactly. And so the definition of hydrating is getting your electrolytes, getting your actual electrolytes and getting your mineral salts. That's how you hydrate the actual body. So I'm going back to the natural state. In order for you to, let's say we came out of the womb again, in order for you to go get some hydration from a river or from a lake and from a pond without cups and things like that, you literally have to go against your spine. You have to bend down and you have to get that water, rather than going to a tree, lifting your arm up because you're an upright human being, pulling an apple from the tree, biting into the apple and getting all of your liquids from there. Yeah. Eating fruit is more hydrating than actually drinking water, and it is. And then your most hydrating fruit is the cucumber. The cucumber is 98%, 98% water. It will hydrate the cells, and it comes with everything you need. You ain't got to infuse it with minerals. You ain't got to infuse it with amino acids. You don't have to infuse it with electrolytes, mineral salts. It's already in there because when it went through its exchange with the earth, it already gave all of that. Only time water get that if it flows on river rocks. That's it.
What was our people eating in them hot days over there in Africa? What they always kept with them?
Which you talking about the coconuts? They either kept a coconut with them, they kept a watermelon with them, things like that.
And that's the hottest of the hot.
Yeah.
If you over there in Africa, if you can survive by eating watermelon in the hottest hot, that's telling you something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I be trying to tell people, I'm telling you, I watch them so much that I be arguing like I'm new. They think it's coming from me, but I just re-say what he say. What you mean? Man, it's hot
all day.
That's all I do. So
all day.
So is all black people lactose intolerant?
So clinically, I would say over 85% of heavy melanated beings are lactose intolerant. Now, you do have African tribes in Africa, but I'm gonna put it on record to say that we are not African. I'm gonna say that.
That's another story. We're gonna get into that too.
It's a big difference between so-called African Americans in Africa that's in Africa, and then it's not even called Africa. They don't even call it Africa, but our genetics is different. When you look at I don't want to say the creation of the Caucasian race, but when you look at when they came on the scene, some say 6,000 years. All of my research shows 10,000 years ago. When you look at melanated beings, we have been around on Earth since the beginning of time. So everybody was of a melanin descendant back then. Everybody was black. So how did you tell if they was different? They had different cultures, they had different body size, different geographical locations. Like when you look at Africans, their skeleton structures are more different than ours. A lot of them are more skinnier than us. When you look at their nasal passage, their noses are shaped different. They are different. You know, I'm not saying that we all are not connected ancestrally, but we are different though. We're very, very different. Even our hair, genetics, you know, an African man, look at his hair. Yeah, a lot of them genetically don't grow beard. Some of them do, but a lot of them genetically don't grow beard. So it's a difference between us. And I don't know why it's such a big thing. They be like, Dr. Yahki, you trying to cause more division. No, I'm not trying to cause more division, but it's a reason why certain so-called African tribes that's been in America for 1,000 years can't be like the Mezi tribe and eat cow and drink cow blood and drink cow's milk. It's a reason. And that's because we lack the enzymes to actually break down. It's called lactase. So-called African Americans, about 95% of us lack this enzyme called lactase to break down lactose, which is a sugar that comes from milk. But when you go over there into the African lands, into the motherlands, you do have certain tribes that thrive off of it. So that shows you a biological difference right there.
Yeah.
There was this thing about this gorilla mix.
Mhm.
Have you healed NFL players and NBA players with gorilla mix?
So I don't heal nobody. The body have the miraculous capability of healing itself, but I have facilitated in the healing of a bunch of NBA players, a bunch of NFL players, a bunch of music industry, all the rappers, all of them. Yeah, I actually started off being big in the celebrity community first. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me big in this community, because they started saying my name a lot. But yeah, so the gorilla mix, the concept of gorilla mix, and what it does is I studied the gorillas for 7 years, and I studied what they ate. And what I did was I sourced everything they ate, and I literally broke it down and made it into a powder. And you got your energy gorilla mix, you got your muscle up gorilla mix, and then you got your superfood gorilla mix. So everything that the gorillas eat, which is all plant-based, we sourced them out from different places in the world, and I grinded it all up, put it into 3 different powders, and I gave it to the world. It wasn't created for citizens, should I say, or regular people. It was created for an NFL player because he was going through some things, but I convinced him to go vegan, and he went vegan, and he started being very mineral deficient. And we started getting into his vegan diet, and he wasn't eating the original diet that we supposed to eat if we claim that we plant-based. So I said, look, let's change your diet and put you on non-processed foods. We can still call it vegan, even though I'm starting to hate that word. We're going to put you on non-processed foods. And then I created this mix for you. I gave him the mix, and he went out there and started tearing up on the field.
What's a good herb you think somebody can take every day, or like if somebody don't know? Because a lot of people just don't know. That's a lot of people like, hey man, I want to stop meat. I want to stop eating that, but I don't know. Like everything's so easy to get. Popeyes right there. Everything they want so expensive. Everybody ain't really got the money to go. Like, so what would you tell somebody? Just be like, all right, start with these herbs.
So herbs is gonna be for healing. Then the food is going to be for rebuilding, because herbs are more astringent unless you get something called a toner. So herbs are going to be for healing the body, for detoxification, and then the diet is going to be for rebuilding the molecular structure and the muscle tissues. So the herb, I would say, because I'm always going after the lymphatic system, because that's your detoxification. So my favorite herbs to detox the lymphatic system would be plantain leaf and cleaver's leaf. Plantain leaf and cleaver's leaf. And if you're going to cleanse the lymphatic system, then you have to cleanse the circulatory system, which is the blood. And I would say my favorite blood cleanser will be red clover flower buds and burdock root. Greater burdock root. As far as the food thing, and everybody saying stuff is super expensive, we spend the most money annually in America, so-called Black Americans, over 1.4 trillion something dollars.
And we ain't got no money. How is that?
Black people ain't broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think Black people, so-called Black people, and is very distracted. And I think that we have been given a culture to value things that's not really of substance. So we end up spending our money on things that don't bring us nothing but validity of our ego, and they don't really feed our soul and our body. So, you know, for people that say stuff like that, I just think they need to be culture shocked. They need to be re-educated and retrained on how to value things in society, and how to value land, how to value their bodies, how to value their relationship, their marriage, and it'll start making people look at things differently. That way, now a $1,500 consultation with Dr. Yahki is not, damn, that nigga getting a community. Now with the new mindset, it's like, this is actually priceless, and I'm offended he only charging me $1,500. It's all about it's what we value. Yeah, it's all about what we value, and we just been created and made to value things that don't have any substance. Yeah. But you said a food too. So a food that have a complete amino acid structure in there, or what you will call a complete protein, that has over half of every mineral that you need, that you can eat every single day, that'll actually keep something on you if you cook it the right way without ultra processed seed oils, is quinoa. Quinoa is a complete amino acid structure food, meaning that's the technical definition of a whole food is that. Do it have a complete series of amino acids. Do half of your essential minerals that you need for your body is in this food. That's a whole food. And by far the none, quinoa.
Okay. So I have a question. How can both men and women enhance their sexual performance and overall sexual health?
Okay.
Holistic.
First thing will be Kegel. Right, what you trying to say? Y'all got a baby, so y'all ain't having that issue. Yeah, y'all been together for a minute. Y'all ain't having no issues. The first thing I would say is Kegel workouts. Men, get on your knees, bend your back down, and hump the air. Women, make sure you get you a device that you can grip between your thighs, close it, and move your hips, because that's going to automatically bring more blood flow to your lower extremities. Another thing is calf raises and squats, especially for men. Squats boost your testosterone by like 1900.
That's what they say about. That's what I mean by leg day. When they say leg day, because you squat,
because your calf muscles. It's called the calf muscle pump. You can Google it right now. The calf muscle pump. The reason how most of your blood and your lymphatics circulate back up towards the heart and towards this big vein called the vena cava is by the actual calf muscle. I mean, the subclavian vein is by the calf muscles. So jump roping, doing calf raises, walking, running, especially sprinting, all of this boosts your testosterone. And what it does for women, it actually bring their libido up because they get more blood circulation to their reproductive organs. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a herb though that go crazy. Horny, and look, peep the name of it though, Holla. Horny goat weed. Horny goat weed. It is a herb, the leaf. Another one is American ginseng. All right, and then for you, it will be Damiana leaf. Horny goat weed, American ginseng, Damiana.
So that, I'm guessing that keep the blood flow.
Man, it keeps the blood flow, and it's an aphrodisiac. It puts you in this calm state where you be like, come here, girl. Let me talk to you.
What herbs do? Like what?
So Damiana is gonna not only stimulate a reproductive organ, but it's gonna bring all of that blood flow. And I understand being attractive and being horny is a mental thing first, but it's a chemical thing that's happening in the body. Dopamine and serotonin. Yeah. So you got dopamine and serotonin release in the brain. That's gonna put you in that mood. Then you got oxytocin. That's another chemical that's gonna make you want to bind. But as this thing is going on, you're getting a bunch of blood flow and oxygen to the reproductive organ. That automatically stimulates you. The vagina start getting wet, the penis erect. Now it's time to make a baby.
That's why they say we really can smell. We still creatures. Like we can smell.
Oh, no, it's called. So look, your clinical terms is called pheromones.
Pheromones.
So you can smell it. And that's the reason why in India and certain parts of Africa, they do not wear deodorant. And look, I know this sounds crazy, but the mustier, because we call it musty. It's not called musty there. But the more of that stench you smell, the higher your pheromones is. And it turns men on. Now, a lot of men in America, we have been so desensitized and our senses are so messed up. We be like, that girl musty as hell. But in India and Africa, they smell that good. You know what I'm saying?
Some men like natural scent too.
Yeah,
that's why some men be like, man, I don't want to smell all that dove. I want to smell your natural scent.
Facts.
That makes sense though.
And then them natural scents are killing our black women anyway. Black women, number one for breast cancer, triple negative carcinoma, ductal breast cancer, getting their breast cut out, getting all of these.
You know why?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, the deodorant.
So how can you get a lump right here? Because of
because the deodorant is going into the pores, it's going into the lymphatic system. It hits what you'll call an axillary lymph node, and then it swells, and then that end up going to the milk duds of the breast, and then you get a whole entire tumor from it. And then inside that tumor, there's going to be a bunch of parasites anyway, because all of it is parasite driven. But this is because things that we put in our body. And then they got these bras that have these synthetic fabrics, and then have that metal wire in them, which is throwing off the electrons in their breast, throwing off their milk flow in their breast. Yeah. So when you really start thinking about it, everything that was given to Black America was made to kill us, man. Made to destroy us, man, without a shadow of a doubt. So when somebody wake up to that, they start sounding like a conspiracy theorist, or they sound like they hate the world, or everything is just scary. I'm not here to push fear. I'm just here to push awareness. Hey, we at war.
Yeah.
We at war.
It's so crazy how you mentioned the deodorant, because the other day I was so musty.
I told her, I said, I was watching some of your stuff and some other stuff. I said, Sin, when you at home,
I be like this at nighttime.
Oh no, you gonna give her this disclaimer?
I said, Sin, when you at home, stop let your armpits breathe.
Yeah, because they got a detox.
And I'm watching it. Like everything I'm watching, I'm giving her game. I'm like, my mama went through it. I'm starting realizing like these lumps and all this stuff, people, they ain't coming from nowhere. So I said, you gotta start letting your armpits breathe. So when you at home and you ain't going nowhere, don't put on deodorant, like let them breathe. And then she did, and I was like,
yeah. But the crazy thing, like I had my son, and he was sweating. Yeah. So I felt like after I lifted him up, that's when I started smelling the musk. And I got in the shower, and he was in the closet, and I was just like, it wasn't just a swipe, it was. What
he's starting to show you, he's showing you how to detoxify your lymphatic system through your axillary area. So when you stop putting in, you literally caking all of these aluminums, barium, cadmiums into you. It's so many metals that's not supposed to be in your body. The number one cause of heavy metal toxicity, other than drinking contaminated water and getting it through the chemtrails, is through your deodorant. So imagine that sitting right there and then your breast right there. So he really saving your life. Now the musk smell is detoxification, because when you think about necrotic tissues and you think about broken down mucinoid plaque or mucus, it smells when it comes out. So that first initial pungent smell is just all of the toxins coming from your underarms. And that's why it's very imperative that we perspire. We have to sweat.
Everything that happened to me, I put on a game. So I stopped. I used to call myself vegetarian because I still was eating cheese a little bit because I'm on the road, Wild Out show over at midnight. Yeah. Ain't nothing open but a cheese pizza, and ain't no fruit. So I just had to get them. But I was always clogged up, sniffing. I just didn't know what was wrong. I couldn't breathe sometimes. So I said, I'm stopping cheese.
Yep, because dairy is the number one.
Away, like, cinnamon was just like, I said, I don't sniff. None of that went right away. I said, it's the cheese.
Now, you know what that's called? That's called process of elimination in clinical trials. So can't nobody tell you that it wasn't the cheese.
And then the moment he eats some cheese,
like if I go, if it ain't nowhere, I get some pasta.
So we know when it's that, because the moment he cut it off and then the moment he eat it again, it's back.
Y'all see where cheese come from, right? It come from the pus of a titty of a cow. It's the pus in the milk, and it's mixed with blood. Sometimes they have to dye it to get it that pure white color. And they make milk and they make the cheese out of it. So when you eating cheese and you drinking milk, you literally are drinking the milk, the blood, and the lymphatics of another animal. And have any of y'all ever seen a human being give birth to a baby and take their baby to a cow and let the cow breastfeed the baby?
No.
But we all, I mean, have anybody of us actually seen a cow give birth to a baby calf and take the baby calf to human beings and let the human beings breastfeed the baby calf? We never see it, but we see us doing the same thing with our babies, even though, and we think just because it's in a milk jug or it's in a box that is not a titty. No, we are literally sucking the breast of a 2-ton. And that's the reason why the babies are so big. Babies be overweight. They in a 200 percentile. And you wonder why these babies so big, because they on that Similac milk. And then the Similac milk has something called human growth hormone in it. And this is made to grow a baby calf. The baby calf come out already 60 to 100 pounds, y'all. And it's supposed to grow to be 2 tons. So they need all of those substances and all of those amino acids and all of those proteins to build that baby calf into a 2-ton animal. We giving that to our children like it ain't nothing.
Do you have any tips of breastfeeding recommendations?
Yeah, I think everybody should breastfeed, and if you lacking creating breast milk, go after the thyroid, the parathyroid, and the pituitary, because the pituitary is what releases what you'll call prolactin. Prolactin is the actual hormone that stimulates the milk ducts inside the breast to get you to produce that milk. Also, if you can't breastfeed, get you some fenugreek. Fenugreek will help you produce more.
I'm sorry not to cut you off. So I breastfeed. And my
round of applause for that, because a lot of women don't.
I know. I listen. You know I was on there. We wasn't doing nothing else.
All right.
We wasn't doing nothing else.
I noticed that my milk supply decreased. And when I first had them, I was
overabundant,
leaking nonstop, all that, like producing a lot. But it decreased, and then I started getting these teas and stuff like that, and one of the ingredients
fenugreek.
But then I looked it up on TikTok, and they said that fenugreek actually sometimes it dry your milk supply.
Well, sometimes
so that's why I didn't take it.
But there's a risk for everything.
Yes,
there's a risk for everything, and you are right. Fenugreek can sometimes dry it out, but long as you hydrated, you stimulating, make sure your king massaging your breast down to your nipple area. Make sure. Make sure that the baby is feeding and eating a lot, and your breast will supply the milk. As long as you getting some and you keeping them stimulated and you taking those herbs, you will create breast milk. You'll create it. And then go ahead.
Now I showed her this picture because she be like, I'm just gonna buy some formula and keep it. I say, listen, I show her a picture. Breast milk had 99.9% of the minerals that our son needs.
Come on.
Guess how many that formula had?
Come on.
0. I said, if you put 7 on this, look what he's gonna need.
It's gonna eat. The baby's gonna be mineral deficient, breaking bones by the age of 2. And look, you know what's crazy? And so that first 2 weeks of you breastfeeding, colostrum come out. And what colostrum, man, we call it liquid gold, the land flowing in milk and honey. That's what I call it. That's in the Bible. And that's that initial breast milk. That got every microbe you need in there to line up the gut tract. That have every amino acid you need to initiate the jump start of his DNA series. It have everything that you need to jumpstart the immune system, everything that the baby need, every mineral, every amino acid, every macrophage, every basophil, monophil, eosinophil, neutrophil that make up the immune system come right through that breast milk. And then not only that, when the baby is on your breast, you're teaching the baby. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching the baby, and you're literally restructuring the baby's face muscles because that sucking does something to them. You get to bond with the baby, so you're teaching the baby love. And then we got to talk about what you would call epigenetic teaching and learning. That baby learning so much stuff from you and pulling from your source, pulling from your ancestors, all your pain, your trauma, your triumphs. That baby learning all of that through that feeding. So man, keep that baby on your breast.
It's a big difference between, even though it's still breastfeeding, latching on to the boob, because I pump. So he need
to be on your boob because it's still a disassociation. Yeah. So he's getting all of the minerals and stuff he needs because you are pumping your own breast milk and giving it to him, but he needs that connection to his mother. And the only way that you gonna feel love and get that adrenaline, oxytocin, is by him sucking on your breast. That's or your man can do it, but it's gonna release oxytocin. And he get it by that sucking mechanism. And if you keep him on stuff like that and he not on a regular breast, he start getting addictive behavior. He start biting his nails, sucking his thumb. He gonna start rubbing his ears, and that's the reason why is because he was connected with you as a baby, getting that suckling sensation and feeling.
Yeah, and it's he didn't want to suck though. Pause.
No, so when he was born, he instantly latched. But I wanted to see how much he was eating. So once I put him on a bottle, and then I tried to latch him. Yeah,
he'll eat for like just like
5 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. Then she be like, I think he hungry. But then in the bottle you can gauge like
how much he's getting.
He wasn't really drinking a lot.
Nah, she just wanted to see.
I wanted to see for myself.
So when she breastfeed him and then he done, you can't gauge how much came out.
Yeah. Well, when he done, so breastfeeding you can gauge. He gonna stop sucking.
Yeah.
And then when he start crying, he ready for the tit again.
Yeah.
It's really simple as that. You just have to be emotionally available because it'll drive your emotions crazy too, especially when you get old enough. You start nibbling on the nipples, but you just have to be emotionally and physically available to say, okay, I hear you crying, you want it again, put it in his mouth. But y'all very busy too, so you got to learn balance as well. So this is what I would say if I was you, and I'm not a woman, but if I was, pause, this is what I would say. I would say, still do what you're doing, have the baby suck on it, and make sure you get a humanized nipple for the bottle. Don't put them on a regular nipple. Get an actual bottle top that simulates and look like a breast nipple. And you can still feed them on that, but at least for 30 minutes out of the day, even if you got to break it up in 5-minute increments, put them on your actual breast. That way he will still get that release of oxytocin, because love, that's how he get his love right now. And love molds and shapes the personality of the baby until they preteens.
Okay.
So that is very crucial that he get that skin to skin contact, and make sure you do skin to skin with him. Just lay him on the breast for hours. Like that baby need all of that.
Yeah.
In November it'll be 10 years.
Yeah.
My baby 10 years, man. She been love my play sister, man. Nah, so how you feel like, do this play a part in your relationship, like relationship life? Like if a girl don't want to believe in what you, I'm pretty sure that you alkaline, you this and this. It's impossible probably for you to be with somebody who's not. How you feel about that? Like how I don't know what I'm really asking.
So what you asking is my profession and what I do and the lifestyle that I live. can I maintain a relationship with a woman that doesn't live the same lifestyle? No, I can't. And I'm never judging, not hating. I tried it before, and just in the long run, it don't work out. You know what I'm saying? We cooking and eating, and then I'm a biochemist, and I'm in human biology, and I'm just deep into parasitology. So I'm reading eyes, I'm looking at ears, I'm looking at mouth, I'm seeing thrust build up on the tongue. You sure can't give me no head. I'm looking, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at I'm looking at caries inside the tongue. I'm looking at the gut and the belly. Okay, I know it's some pinworms and some hookworms down there.
Like so, even fur,
so like I'm reading eyes. So no, it's not. But I will say this though. I think everybody is worthy, of a significant other. But I think most people vibrate on different levels, and that's who you attract to. That's who you should go after. So me, I'm so far in the game, I'll be stupid because I'll be going back to get with somebody that eat meat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of,
you live in this now, and they see a girl at McDonald's like. That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
But check this out though, Holly. If I say I run across just a bad, beautiful woman, we connect spiritually, and she say she eat meat, and I put her on some game, and she say, "Look, I'm finna detox. Look, I think I'm finna. Oh, we can build, baby.
Because you're a leader. We provide. So you want somebody. Let me change. Let me help you better your life. If she willing to submit and be submissive, then we gonna follow me. Of course. I saw you talking about. What like polygamy? How you feel about what you talk about?
Polygyny?
Yeah.
I practice polygyny.
Tell the people a little bit of why, because they like to hear real definitions behind it, just real examples, why you believe in that.
Well, for one, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So, and my mama was Muslim, my uncles was Hebrews. So, I grew up oriented around. I've never seen a relationship where there was just a man just being with one woman. Like me, I can't even really conceptualize that. If you are into the monogamy space, I'm all for it. Kudos to you. I hope and pray it work out for you. But I just don't see relationships dynamics that way. And me personally, don't throw nothing at me saying. I just don't.
Let them cook. Watch out.
I don't.
Listen to this. Listen closely.
I don't see. Me personally, I just don't see the benefit of that either, just having one woman, because for one, it's not in our biology to be with one woman. It's not a regular man. Well, I ain't gonna say regular because that means I'm saying anybody that don't believe in my philosophy ain't regular, but we are not biologically made to be with one woman. You don't see that in the animal kingdom. You see a few animals doing that. But when you see a lion in his pride, it's the male lion, and he got all his wives, and they structure the business. It's his kingdom, it's his home. He's providing, but he's showing them how to hunt and what to do, and they go out and get the food, and everything is going well.
Gorilla.
You see what I'm saying?
What animal is doing that?
What animal is doing that? If I tell you, then you're going to have a good argument. So I don't want to tell you. I'm going to tell you. All right. So look, the animals that we assimilate the closest with, the primate kingdom, gorillas. Gorillas are monogamous, but they starting to cheat now.
I saw.
They starting to cheat now.
But I saw a video of a gorilla, and it was like 4 females.
Yeah, but see, and so you do have anomalies in nature too, where they do different things. But if we talk about the core basis of the gorilla kingdom, they usually like to pick a woman and settle down with, have a bunch of babies, and then the woman will end up dying off, and then they'll get another woman. So and then when you look at the life expectancy of gorillas, it's not really that long like it used to be. So you will see them with multiple different wives, and don't get me wrong, they sleep around too. Even some gorillas in nature are starting to do homosexual activities. Yeah, man, I study gorillas, but the core principle of gorillas, too much for them, they don't want to do it. So if I gotta take care of your ass, and I gotta protect you and you, and I'm cool. I'm gonna stick with you, little mama.
That's how all men.
That's how all men. That's great. That's a crazy statement.
That's every other animal though, like hippos. Everybody else though, they gotta.
Yeah. So, because it's polygyny is the natural order of things. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash from it, but I mean, I've been poly my whole life, so I don't really care. But it's the natural order of things. And then if you look at any civilization that have been built and have lasted for long periods of time, it was built off polygyny. You know what I'm saying?
Egypt back then.
Whether we talking about Kemet, whether we talking about ancient Mesopotamia, whether we talking about the Hebrews, Hebrew Israelites, and how Jacob and them came about, Israel, Yisrael came to be, it was all multiple women being a part of a union with one man. So I don't believe in polygamy where you can have multiple partners too, because if you got multiple niggas, I'm gonna use the word niggas, you got multiple niggas and we all having sex and coming in you and you get pregnant, how you know who the daddy is? But the man on the other end, I can go, and I don't want to say the word hit, I'm gonna say make love. I can go make love with multiple different women at this and get them all pregnant within 24 hours or a week, and they all, if they only having sex with me, they know who the father is. So just by that simple biology shows you that a woman ain't supposed to be sleeping around. And then it's another thing is when a man ejaculating to a woman, he have fragments of his sperm that passes the blood and brain barrier, and these fragments become a part of her neurological motility for the rest of her life. So it's like I can wash a woman off.
Yeah, you can't wash that man off.
No, you cannot wash that man off.
You, this man all in you, like,
yeah, you start getting different personalities and everything. And that's the reason why when a man get caught cheating, he a dog, but we usually get accepted back into the house because they know that there's a part of our nature. But if a woman get caught cheating, man, we ain't taking it. We done. We done.
That's why women y'all handle that better. That's why they be like, oh, I caught you caught me texting and it's the end of the world. I caught you doing all that. I went on a date and you just dead. Like we can't handle that.
No, we can't. Yeah, we can't handle that at all. Nah, y'all take more pain than us. Yes, y'all are more emotionally fit than us, even though y'all very emotional. But the woman, when you look at the so-called black woman, the so-called black woman is the most resilient species and being on this earth. I mean, you just pushed a baby, a live, living baby out of your womb. Holla could never do that.
Ever. I was right there finna faint watching you. I'm watching you like, that's what I'm saying. I be giving women credit like y'all are weight, like
y'all are resilient.
Even with y'all every month you got like we can't do that.
Yeah,
even with her taking care of our son. Let me tell y'all something. Women, the way y'all nurture is amazing. I got my son probably for 20 minutes. He cried, he do all that. By the time I give him back, I'm wore out. Like I be like, whoo, he wore me out.
I hate when he say that. Like don't ever come to me and say, oh, he wore me out.
She don't understand what I mean.
But he don't have so men have a certain mental capacity, especially for crying babies. And then it's a certain hurts and pitch in a cry. Oh, hey, where your mama at?
And that's what I be trying
to tell. And you can deal, but it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to us.
Yeah, so I'm like, he cried for 5 minutes. I got even changing his diaper. I can do all that. It's not second nature. Like I'm picking up too. I think I'm holding him too tight. Yeah. I'm just, she get him and sleep. That's
a gift from God.
He be so wore out in the middle of the night. He feed and
this how I help her. This is my job. I say, baby. He get up and cry. I'm gonna make the bottle. I'm gonna warm the bottle up and give it to you.
Yeah.
You change it on. That's how I can help. Like my body I can't. When I hear him, my body just automatically shuts down. Like, oh my God.
But he have it so bad to where now I pump. Mm-hmm. Like if he wake up at 3:00 in the morning, I pump. He feed him. He wake back up. What time?
7, 8, go to
He be like, man, I'm wore out.
I'm so tired.
I can't go to the gym.
That little stuff. The boy,
30 minutes of feeding 7.
It ruins my whole.
Boy,
I can't even talk right now. Listen, my whole thing, it ruined it. I don't even want to go to the gym no more. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I feel
but it's just when he say that. I'm tired. Like, don't say that. Stop complaining to me.
Because in your head, you like, I'm taking 90% of this whole job.
And you talking to me.
I'm telling you that. That's you. I praise you. That's why I can't even
take a 15-minute shower. All my showers be quick. I can't do this. I can't sit down and eat. If I'm downstairs, he's coming downstairs with 7.
So you trying to get away from the baby? He follow you around the house with the baby.
Any reason to get him back? Hey, I'm something on the roof. Hold on right quick. I promise. Before we get you out of here, we're gonna play this little game. We be playing games with our guests, man. Which games? Which one should we do, Jay?
Spiritual shutdown. Smackdown. Okay, so this is just like a debate. So we're just gonna throw out some topics and you say how you feel about it.
Okay.
Okay, so
This can be dangerous right here.
Oh, okay. Can you heal in the same environment that hurt you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say technically no. Spiritually, I would say yes. And the reason why I say yes spiritually, because you can transmute the energy of that environment. Physically, I would say no, because if it's physical, then that means it's an abusive person, whether it's verbally abusive, physically abusive. It can be some toxins in there. You can be mold inside the house. You would literally have to change that whole entire environment and move from it in order to heal. But spiritually, you can definitely transmute and be an alchemist and transmute that energy in here.
Okay. Can money and peace coexist?
Can money and peace coexist? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. And honestly, I'm gonna go further and say I don't think living in this third dimensional density of what we call Earth that you can truly have peace. And if you could, would you really want it? Would you really want peace? Because that's our whole purpose here, is to try to create peace here on Earth. And once that happened, then what happened to the human species?
Okay. Favorite high vibration meal?
My favorite high vibration meal is going to be an all fruit juice diet. And I'm going to do energetic astringent fruits that's going to pull on my lymphatic system and give me a lot of outer body experiences. And that will be a grapefruit juice fast. Be careful, y'all, because it will burn the hell out of your tongue. But if you want to get outside your body and be in the astral plane, I did a 60-day grapefruit fast when I was in Kissimmee, Florida. I could not stay in my body. I literally had to. I kept having out astral projecting. I had to call my teacher, because my teacher the one who told me. I'm like, Doc, I can't stay in my body. He said, so if you can't stay in your body, that means you in air. How do you get the ground? I said, eat ground food. So I had to go on a vegetable diet. I went on a vegetable diet for 12 days and I was able to stay. My nervous system was able to really harness my spirit. But on a very, very highly energetic fruit diet, it shows you that we are the gods. I was not in my physical form. Yeah.
Could you give an example of how that somebody can fit? Because I'm still trying to you think out of body. You flow like if I was right here, I can see myself right there. Like
it's not necessarily like that. It's like more of I would say it's more like a remote viewing than an astral, because I used to astral travel all the time until I got stuck in this place that I thought was hell and I never did it again. I had to go to the hospital after that too. But when I say that, it was more like remote viewing. I was in places that I never been, but they was real places with real third dimensional structures. It was real buildings and it was in real time. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like a remote view. Astral projection, you can astral project to any dimension of plane. And this is when I first realized that the spiritual and biblical cord really exists. And I was talking to these serpent beings in this place, and I did DMT, and we did 24 hours of darkness, where you just sit in the dark and you take these mushrooms for 24 hours, complete darkness. And you cover your ears up. You literally go through something called sensory deprivation. If you take away your senses, you're going to start seeing that these things don't really see, these things don't really hear, and this don't really taste, and these don't really feel. There's another field of the electrical magnetic grid that exists outside of us that is coexisting with us right now. So when you get rid of your senses, you force your spiritual body or your astral body to take charge. And man, I was talking to these serpent beings, and it was like, you see that card that's on you? They said you can only go as far as the card. If the card snapped while you in these dimensions, you would never come back to your body. I said, that sounds like a coma. That's exactly what they said. That's what a coma is. So these are when you going on these highly energetic astringent fruit diets, and you taking, mushrooms, and you doing psychedelics, and you in nature, and you getting all these electrons from the earth. It's going to show you who you truly are. We are beyond our senses. We just trying to understand this reality through the third dimension. So we have touch, we have feel, we have smell, we have hearing, we have seeing, but it's beyond that. And that's the reason why you can go through something called sleep paralysis, or what they call Widener witch's broom, where you go to sleep and you wake up and you can see everything in the room, but then you wake up for real. And you be like, what the hell was I just seeing and still sleep for? Because every night you go to sleep in your dreams and you travel. That's the whole purpose of sleep. Physically, sleep is to go through stages of autophagy to detoxify. Spiritually, you go to sleep to visit other different dimensions of densities and to learn from your ancestors or from your higher self.
So what's really deja vu? Because I'd have had that a few times where I'd have been here, like I've been here.
Yeah,
this is my first time here.
Because you had it's never your first time here. So when you start looking at, quantum entanglement and, things like singularity and the non-duality effect, we are all one, and all of us can hemi-sync our brains at any given moment if we want to. They just did an experiment with 10,000 people went to Australia and they prayed. And they prayed and they manifested something simultaneously because everybody came together and they coexisted. They literally hemi-synced their heartbeat in the same rhythmatic frequencies. They did a bunch of breath work together and they just did these affirmations and it changed something a couple countries over. I think it's on the Gaia channel. It's another one in India where they were listen to what I'm going to say. They were at a medicineless hospital. And it was 4 doctors. It was 4 medicineless doctors. And this woman had a tumor on her liver. And the 4 of them put their hands together and the 2 other people that had their hands extended, put it over the liver. And all they did was this. They said, "You are healed. You are healed." And they did it in such a way that it started sounding like a different language because they were so in rhythm when they were saying you were healed. And in real time on the MRI screen, guess what the tumor did? It shrunk in 2 minutes. I'm gonna text it to you when we leave, but you can play it just for people think I'm lying. So this shows you that we are all one and we all been here. I don't believe that you meet new people. If I met you, this is my first time meeting you, saying I've been knowing him for more than half my life. Just my straight brother. We came up together for real, for real. Like a lot of people think he be playing about what he be saying. He really from the streets for real, for real. Only if people really knew. But I just met you today in the physical form, but I wouldn't have never met you if I haven't met you in a previous life. So we all down here are connected and know each other. You never meet new people because there is no such thing as new people. These the same spirits that is reincarnating. Re means to recycle. In means to be inside. Car is talking about the carnal flesh. Reincarnation is just your same spirit in Ruach HaKodesh inhabiting another vehicle or body. So we all know each other here. So when you go into a place and you say this deja vu, it is because you've been there. That don't necessarily mean that you have to be in here in this Hitman Holla body. You could have been in Zuckerrock Shugavu body, whoever the hell that is from Russia. You know what I'm saying? But you was there before.
That's crazy.
It's called the butterfly effect. Y'all look it up.
Butterfly effect.
So I'm gonna call out one more thing for us. This game is called Hit or Holistic. Okay.
I like that.
Okay? So we're gonna ask you a phrase, and you're gonna say whether it's hit, which is toxic, shade, or holistic, which is how I. Okay. Arguing with someone over the phone.
That's definitely hit.
Okay.
And especially if you're a man. Man shouldn't argue, period. You know what I'm saying? Especially not with your woman, because you're not going to win the argument. Period. So, yeah, that's a hit.
Okay. A 3 a.m. pool run.
Oh, man, that is hit. Hit first. That's direct traffic hit. Ran over, dead on arrival. Because when you eat like that and you eat so late, you don't give your body time to detoxify. So it's going to turn into visceral fat and toxins going to grow estrogen. And you wake up and your belly be big. So yeah, never eat past 7 o'clock. Look, let me show y'all something.
7 p.m.
But look, I'm in here, I'm traveling. I got a big seminar tomorrow. Me and Nabi finna go eat some Ethiopian food. So I'm not saying you gotta be like this 100% all day, but 98.
Majority, try to do it.
Majority, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. Having multiple partners.
Multiple partners for a woman, hit. For a man, if you do it the right way, if you providing, if you producing, if you protecting and being proactive, and you not being promiscuous and putting your penis in everything, that's a most definitely holistic.
Niggas.
Okay. Working
Ligas.
out. Working out with your ex.
That's flat out because it's an X for a reason. That's a hit. That's a hit.
One of it's like a baby mama. Y'all ain't just. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, if you got that if you have that understanding with your new significant other, it can be. And if that's the case, then all y'all asses should be working out together. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I do believe in polygyny in a way where you're not lying about nothing. Like me, cheating is not in our culture. If you cheating, you on some bitch ass nigga shit.
Because cheating can be different it's different meaning for different people. Like some people say, are you dimmed? Are you cheating? But if your girl,
if y'all got to understand it,
okay,
yeah. So I would say that's a hit.
Okay, smoking weed while reading your Bible.
Well, I think smoking weed, period, is a hit because you putting smoke in your body, which suffocates the cells and brings the cell into a state of called hypoxia. But if we're gonna say drinking weed tea, indica, couch weed, getting that full body high, reading your Bible, I think that is a plus because it's gonna open up your melanin neurotransmitters, it's gonna open up your mind, your frontal lobe is gonna be like this, and you're gonna be able to really dissect that Bible is really a book of codex.
I heard you say smoking weed bring like feminine energy.
Yeah, because it pulls all of the estrogen out of the cell. So yes, and definitely the synthetic weed. So my Marley brothers got on me about that. They said, bring the science, bro. So this is the true science behind it. Yes, but it's really more of a smoking synthetic chemical, lab grown weed. And they doing like homosexuality with the plants. They splitting male and male plants, and and that's the reason why they don't have seeds and stuff like that. So when you get into these lab grown weeds, yes, it can proliferate estrogen in the tissues, but natural ganja grown from the earth wouldn't do that. But you still shouldn't smoke it. A lot of my friends smoke weed and they're gonna go against this, but they know what I'm saying. You still couldn't smoke it because why would you suffocate yourself? Make some weed tea. And look, for all of my weed lovers out there, I love weed. I just will never smoke it.
Don't smoke it. Basically putting it in. Okay.
Working out while fasting.
Working out while fasting is the best thing you can ever do. Working out in a fasted state is the best thing that you can ever do. You produce more human growth hormone when you work out in a fasted state. And always go ahead.
Let me tell you what I did on accident. When I did my fruit diet, I was fasting on accident because like I get home, like I wake up at 9 a.m. Get in the shower, boom, I get to the gym by 10. I get done at 12. I get home by like 2. I take a nap, I do whatever. I wake up by like at 5. By that time, I went to sleep like, at 8 p.m. So from 8 p.m. all the way to 9, I didn't eat.
Yeah.
From 9, when I got back from the gym, I still didn't eat, but that's 14 hours.
That's called intermittent fasting, brother.
When I was doing that, and I got the best shape, everything in my life.
Because you get to release more human growth hormone. And then and another thing too, to build more and to use that human growth hormone to proliferate muscle tissue better is always work out first, then do your cardio. Don't do your cardio first, then work out, because you're going to burn that muscle too, because it's going to keep you in an anabolic state. Look, it's a person here. If y'all see my old videos, I actually used to be heavyweight. I used to be a fat guy. Will right here, you know what I'm saying, which is my security, but he got me to lose all that weight. And I grew up I've been knowing him since a child too.
We grew up
all of us grew up together.
I just understand this is beautiful. Grew 20 plus years with him, 20 plus years with they hit security, 20 plus years with him, and it just all keep going.
Yeah, but so fasted state workouts is the only workouts I would do unless I'm super busy and I had to catch a late night workout. You know what I'm saying? So I would say definitely holistic.
Last one is sage before sex.
Sage before sex. I would say sage before sex, hit. Pray before sex, holistic. What are we laying down for? What is the understand we laying down to get one off, but what is the potentials here? If a baby come, is this baby gonna be president? Is this baby gonna be the next king? Is this baby gonna be a neuroscience? Before we lay down, because there's a potential of having a baby here, let's set the precedence of what this baby gonna be, and that way it makes the sex more intimate, it makes the sex more involved. Now I can do affirmations and spit them in your ear about what this baby gonna become, and then when that baby come out, now we got a plan and we got a strategic goal of where to put the baby at in life to benefit its culture.
Because sex is deeper than what people think, because you're really giving energy away. Where you like a girl can, are they really giving us their feelings?
They give you everything. For the first thing she give you is a solvent called Copeland, and Copeland is when the vagina get wet. And that initial wetness, if you smell the pheromones on it, if you touch it and it gets in your pores, and if you put your penis in there raw, it creates addictive like behavior. That's how men become pussy whipped. It's called Copeland. Look it up. Coplin. And it's the initial wetness of the vagina. And it is made to put you in bondage.
That's why men.
Ain't that crazy?
That's why men go crazy.
Yeah. So and then what you give the woman through your pre-cum, you give her an immune suppressant. Your whole thing is, so when you look at it, a woman's whole mission in her vagina is to draw you in. right? Your whole mission is to subdue her and bring her down in a good way. Because when you ejaculate in her, you have something called immunosuppressive sperm that literally breaks through her immune system and make her immune system go down. That way, when you impregnate her, her immune system is low and it won't kick out the baby. So when you look at sex from a biochemistry standpoint, it's straight war. It's just, it feels so good.
Yeah, the end of it feels good. Man, I'm gonna let you get out of here, but I can talk to you for 6 hours. I swear to God I can, man. But I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you, bro. We came from the same place. To see you worldwide and to see you helping your community, like, you do a dangerous job, bro. Like, a lot of people is scared to do what you do. A lot of people, and you out here doing it with a smile. You got your brothers with you, and I go on your live sometime and I just read the comments. Yahki, you changed my life. Yahki, you changed my life. Go on your YouTube comments. You changed my life. I'm watching your seminars I'm watching people line up to just say, I couldn't wait to shake your hand of the man who told me to do this for my granny, and now she living better. I just want to say I love you, dog.
I love you too, bro.
Proud of you, bro.
Love you too, my brother.
Thanks for coming, man.
Always.
Make some noise. Make some noise, Yahki.
Hey, I want to say this before we get off. All y'all watching this, he really is who he say he is, family. It's just coming from the horse's mouth, man. I've been knowing him since yay high. We really was out here. So
I'm gonna show y'all some video. I'm gonna post some videos up to show y'all how it was back then.
So to see where you at, man. Hey, the same thing, brother. I'm pretty proud. I'm super proud of you and your commitment to your lady, and that's how you bringing her forth and putting her on the throne. Hey, I love it. And look, y'all, I'm pro melanin. I'm not causing no division between us and Africa. I just want to say that again, man, because but biology is biology.
Yeah, science is a science.
You can find me at Yahki Awakened. I always do the blue marks, the blue verified check on Instagram. You can find me at Yahki Raphael Elohim on Facebook, and you can find me at www.yahkiawakened.com. And that's my website. We got a lot of stuff coming. We're putting St. Louis all the way on the map. We got forums out there. We got clinics out there. We just bought a big old school out there called the Dr. Yahki Health and Human Development Center. It's right there in Florissant, Missouri. Look, it's putting on for where we come from.
Fire, man.
Thank you so much.